Alright, I'm gonna get started with the KV5 here. Hello everyone, hello Simon, Dana, and Hipster, nice to see you guys. Starting out, with the KV5, need to make a little bit of credits here. I just purchased the Tier 7 VK medium tank, so I'm at like 150,000 credits. But today, if there's any specific tanks you'd like to see, I'll gladly take requests. I'm just going to kind of be doing what I did yesterday, throwing in some tanks I need to do doubles on. Otherwise, pretty much, play anything else as long as I have it. Alright, there's a few tier 10s on the enemy team, so just gotta keep a little bit of an eye out. Mainly concerned about the E75 and T10, because even with a little bit of APCR, these can, be a little tough to penetrate. Looks like we have a lot of people heading over on this side, not too many on the beach, which probably is going to end up being a bit of a problem for us, to say the least. Yeah. I think I'm going to want to stick to kind of the center area here. Just a lot of our team is kind of sitting back, not really pushing up, which could be some could cause some problems. Alright, so we got two of the 9s over here already. We have a 1390 already on our side of the map, which is not good at all. That's going to give them a little bit of momentum to push into us. I'm trying to get these guys to move up here. I just got spotted from in between there. See this? Yep, I knew that guy was there. Luckily he missed, but unfortunately for me, dude, move. Come on, guys. It's push up here. It's like either push up with me or freaking head back and start going to the other side. Like, you can't have both. Let's say, usually some people sit back there and wait for you, but that's not the case there. Oh shit. Of course, just as I, look away. Crap. At least I caught him now. He really doesn't have any armor to really bounce shots from me. Just try to do a little look away. Just I'm wanting to go this way, but yep, just as I freaking move, he pulls out there. God damn it. Yeah, I won't be able to get through. Okay, this is getting a little bit annoying here. But at the very least, at least I'm damaging a tier 9. Granted, I don't want to be taking this damage. He is making it somewhat easy. I'm still sticking with APCR because a few spots on his turret, while weak, can pose a little bit of problems for me if I hit his mantlet area. But luckily he's out of the way, so I can whoopsie daisy. Almost forgot about him, but I'm about to get derped. Let's track him and hope he does not have a repair kit, and he does. Alright, they're gonna take care of that E7. Yeah, hopefully take care of the E75. He's still kind of posted up there. Be very nice if they would just freaking flank him. Like, he can't shoot both ways, guys. Like, Like, I don't... We have a T10 and a frickin' Type 4 Heavy afraid to push into a frickin' E75. Like, come on, guys. I shouldn't have to push up there and save you. That was pretty much pathetic. There's really no other words for that. I could see if they were like low HP or something like that, but you know, they weren't, you know, they had pretty much full HP and still they were afraid to push into an E75, not even aiming at them. And now they're kind of... Alright, the T10's pushing around for that ISU here, so I'm not too concerned about him. Or I'm a little bit concerned for the T10 because he was so hesitant to push into the frickin' E75. Anyway, though, I'm going to head back to base. It just doesn't make too much sense for me to keep pushing outside of killing Artie. You know, it's better for me to head back to base. Alright, I'm going to put a little bit... never mind, the T10's going to pull off of the ISU. I did just miss a shot on this VK, but... Alright, I guess, yeah. I'm going to go back to APCR, considering... Oh, shit. I was about to say, I could have just got hit there, because of the height of this tank by that Borsig, but fortunately I did not. I'm going to see if I can get this Borsig out, but it's definitely going to be a little bit iffy. He's not pointing my way just yet. There we go. Alright, there's an Emil 1. I'm mostly concerned about getting the Emil 1 out. But I also have to be a little bit aware that two of these guys are playing extremely safe, and I don't think I'm going to get any help here, which is unfortunate. Got that pesky little light out there. It's... Yeah, I don't... At least they... Good job, Artie. I was starting to get a little bit worried there. The Type 4 is not even spotting behind me, which is of concern. What an interesting first match, though. Hello, Shaggy Mike. Nice to see you. Oh, you never know what the hell's going to happen. Alright, I'm hoping this T10 doesn't die. That way I can get a different look on these guys. This FV looks like he's going to try to pull around. I hope I don't miss my chance at him here. Shit. And I did. I fudged that up. But Artie's pushing in here, so I will give Artie the benefit of the doubt, and I'll also move in here a little bit. It's not the best route for me to take because I do need to push a couple tanks out of the way here, but hoping... Shit. There we go. Let's say I'm hoping I can squeak the shot in. Alright, this is going to actually be tough now, especially with Artie. And this guy potentially having a shot, but really he's got a... Very nice, Artie. I'm glad our SPG can shoot close up, because he was actually more of a help, it feels like, than the T10 and the Type 4 Heavy here. But like I said, if you guys have any requests, I'll gladly take them. You know, I'm just going to be playing a couple tanks that I need to do doubles in, but I'll pretty much do any requests today, as long as I have the tank, of course. I use quite a bit of APCR, but that's, you know, that's a KV5 for you, but Man, they make it a little bit difficult. I'm just gonna try to get lucky here, and I'm just gonna pop straight down and see if I can spot anything. It's like, you never freaking know where, you know, SPG could be at this point. I don't care if he caps. I'd rather, honestly, get this mission, or not mission, this match done, and over with. I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, give me Top Gun, I got 5 kills. Like, no, just cap and get it over with. Hello, Martin. Nice to see you. Yes, I do have the Panther 2 fully upgraded. So start out with a mastery badge, first class. Not too bad. Yep, almost 3,700 damage. Even made pretty hefty profit. Even without the personal reserves, I would have made a lot. Alright, so why don't I hop into the Panther 2? That's one of the tanks I'm grinding. If I can actually find it and go the right way. As far as the gun that I use on it, I use the 8.8 centimeter. You know, there is 2 different guns that you technically could use on it, but I'd rather go with the tank or the gun with a little bit more penetration. Granted, the premium, you know, on the smaller caliber is higher pen-wise, but I'd rather have the higher alpha. You know, both guns have their ups and downs, but mainly, you know, if you're against a lot of 9s, 10s that the Panther 2 regularly sees, you're not exactly going to want that amount of alpha with the 7.5 centimeter. You know, it's like you're tickling them. So, hello, WTE. Nice to see you. All right. I'm tempted. Usually in mediums, I like to head out over to this side, but we'll see. It's like they don't have a lot of, say, like standard mediums. They do have a Super Persian, T26E5 technically. I see that as a medium a lot of times. I do not have a Hetzer, no, Martin. I used to, but I kind of gutted it. That was towards the end of when I used to do clan wars and stuff. I gutted a lot of my low tier tanks and sold them all. Just haven't purchased it back, I believe. If I do have it, it definitely doesn't have a crew or anything yet in it. Yeah, the VK3002D, I need to get... I'm seeing if there's going to be a crew sale coming up first, but I need to get equipment on that and, you know, all the modules and stuff. I actually need credits to be able to do that, so I have the tank though. So I'll be starting that grind here hopefully sometime this week. It's another like 1.3 million credits down the hole. I only need to buy like 40 million credits worth of other things now instead of 41. Alright, this could be of concern. Say I do not want to push up too far here, so I'm just going to make myself a little hole. Shit. My hole was not big enough because I cannot aim. And somehow I bounce off a KV-13 in the Panther 2. Alright. Here we go. Let's say Artie definitely is looking at me now, so I'm just gonna maneuver a little bit here. Looks like he tracked him. This is good and bad. Yep. And I get one shot at. Awesome. I'll hop back into the Panther too. That's the second time in a few days that I've gotten one shot at by artillery. Awesome. Tier 10 Artie. I only have a T92. I can hop into that though. Typically I don't play Artie, but you know, if you guys request it, I'll gladly hop into it. I do not have a low, unfortunately, no. Hello, Abdul. Nice to see you. Hopefully you're having a good day. But yeah, I'll hop back into the Panther 2 after this, because, yeah, I got deleted. I knew Artie was aiming at me, but honestly, I thought after that guy got tracked, I started to move a bit. Thought I, went unspotted, and obviously that was not the case. But oh well. Hello, Uber. Yeah, not a terrible map for an SPG. I'm gonna try to, hopefully, a good chunk of our top tiers, end up setting up in this area. I'm gonna try to set up over here. That way I have slightly better shots up, this angled ridge here. No problem, Marco. I will not vouch to say that I am the best SPG player. I do have a pretty interesting SPG match. I uploaded yesterday. It's the newest video on my channel. M53, M55 with pure AP on Ensk. It was pretty fun. Hello, the moon. Nice to see you. That's all right. At least you're stopping by for a bit. Alright, so it's a decent split. So when I play SPGs, I turn into, please protect me, but I'm not one of those, like, someone has to, like, watch you. It's just, please at least make one, like, semi-decent flank for me to hide behind. That's all I ask for. I'm actually, maybe I will aim over here first. So let's say I might take a shot over to the forest side just to help them out with my first shot. Typically you can get a better shot over there. First up, okay, that guy wasn't moving, but the only problem with aiming over this side, T92 doesn't have the best firing arc, so yeah, I'm gonna probably regret moving over here, but I'm gonna try to help these guys out because they're slowly inching up. Just need to wait, another eternity for this to aim back in here. Just waiting for him to change up a little bit. What's this T49 doing? But I'm gonna start making my way over this way where I want to be. Don't know if I hit that guy because he was unspotted, but this is starting not to look good for my team here. Unfortunately, being an SPG, especially a T92, I can't exactly influence the match as much as I might like to. I definitely, if this side has any chance, I have to hit this guy and get him off of my guys here, but that's if they're actually going to spot, which does not look to be the case now. They're pulling back, so problem with the T92, you gotta freaking aim in all again over here. Obviously, my first shot really missed if I did not splash the T10 or anybody over here. Let's see how my luck... I guess I'll take it, but the problem I have with SPGs, specifically like something like a T92, is, it's way too dependent on RNG for it to actually work most of the time. But even though that other side, I have decent shots over there, I kind of have to help this flank, or else I'm going to be screwed before I can actually get more shots off. Be very nice to get him out, just to get a tank out of the way. Nope, and it completely misses even though I aimed, ahead of him since he was moving forward. Awesome, but this is life of an SPG, which is why I don't, play a ton of them. Like every now and then an SPG match is fine, but Some matches you just cannot hit things, regardless of how well you aim. And say like a T92 Conqueror gun carrier, if you're in like a Batchat 155, 58, stuff like that, it's a little bit more reliable. But these tanks, not so much. Yeah, I fudged this aim up. I'm not even sure if I can get a good shot off here. Nope, I completely missed because, well, I did 645 damage, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this match. I'm just moving on here. Alright, so I'm going to do the Panther 2 again because that match was pretty lame, but alright, never mind, it's still in battle. So I'll hop into the Udes, here, and then I'll pop back into the Panther. Alright, so after the KV5 match to begin with, not having very much luck here. Okay. But yeah, if there's any other requests, I'll gladly, hop into any tanks that you guys like to see. It's really, I'm just trying to get doubles done and not to go bankrupt this morning since I guess, purchased a new tank. But yeah, this weekend, they haven't announced, at least on the North American server, the, specials yet, but they were kind of hinting at something revolving around like personal reserves or something. I forget what they were kind of talking about in the January preview, but just something to keep an eye on. Yeah, I can play the 183. I'm gonna see how my luck is, if anybody can. Shit. I was about to say I need to get a little bit higher there, but I do not want to be spotted. I just wanted to get as far enough here so these lights can spot for me, and I'll try to help my team out by getting in some nice first shots here. But it does require them to spot. I probably shouldn't have shot at the tank that's actually pointing its turret at me. But at least I got one little hit in. Let's see if there's any other stragglers coming across here. There might be. But Mountain Pass, I've gotten this a couple times in this tank. This is not a good map for this tank at all. It's just after, like the initial little engagement, there's not that many spots for you to set up on this. Which I might actually set up where this low is, because I can get shots there. It's just, you're fighting the tank more so than the enemy. A lot of times, but with a lot of people over in like H3, H4, I'll give this place a shot. I just need the low to move a little bit. Hello, Echo Baby. As far as making your own clan, it just costs a one-time fee of gold. Outside of that, there's not like a monthly fee or anything. It's the VK. Shit, this guy is gonna throw a little bit of a wrench in my plans, and of course I miss. The VK, what is it? 3001D, the tier 7 German medium tank. But yeah, this is gonna be a problem. They all moved down here. I wasn't expecting, a lot of tanks here. Shit. This tank, I like to say it negates RNG because it's very accurate, but when you aim as poorly as I have a couple of these shots, it's all on you. I gotta run back now. But yeah, another match where this is a very team dependent tank, and unfortunately, I didn't exactly help as much as I wanted to that first little engagement, but it definitely definitely needs a good flank to sit behind, much like SPGs, but what the hell, we might as well make this a little bit interesting here, since I'm pretty much gonna die. Whoa, dude, don't ruin my plan. Oh, I just missed him. Oh well. I doubt I was going to get another shot on because everything can overmatch this, so I was hoping just to ram the hell out of him. But that didn't work. At least we won the Panther 2 match, so I'll hop back into that since that first match was pretty short-lived. No problem. Alright, so next up after this will be the 183. Sometimes, you know, like, I'm not gonna, you know, that was a loss, so why not have some fun? Try to dive bomb somebody. As far as those tanks, I have the T54E1. I also have the T57 Heavy. It's actually one of my newer tanks. I've only got like 4 or 5 battles in it. Oddly enough, not a lot of people request that. I was getting a lot of requests for it. Yes, I do have the, like I said, the T57. It's just a lot of people were requesting it, and then once I got it, I don't get requests for it anymore, strangely enough. I don't think the Swedish line sucks. Like, I review, basically, I guess finished last week which Swedish line or Swedish tank line is right for you over on WoTguru.com. And I was surprised a little bit. Like the TDs, I thought only the tier 8 to 10 were going to be good, but there's a couple others that are decent. It's just the TDs, you know, they require a little bit of a buffer, especially in the beginning, to actually, you know, get a decent match and help your team out. But unfortunately, in that case, Mountain Pass, it's pretty hard even for a very good team to actually give you a little bit of a buffer. But everyone has their, you know, own play styles and opinions. It's just when I see a Swedish TD on an enemy team, I definitely take note where I think it's going to set up, more so than other tanks. Doesn't look like they are focusing on... why you gotta ruin my day, Tiger P? I'd say I wasn't gonna have to worry about getting spotted by anybody, but this guy... maybe not. It was just the tier 7 German medium. It's just I don't have a lot of credits to go around now, because basically every time I hit about 1 million, I buy new equipment, because I have about 20 million credits I need to dump into equipment for the tanks I already own. Plus I'm still grinding tanks, so I had to keep buying, you know, the new tanks in those lines. This is a little tricky. I need a scout. Well, the Swedish TD's mid-tier, like the tier 6 is good, the 7's alright, but, you know, once you get to the 8, that's when it starts really ramping up. I have to say, I need a little bit of a visual cue to help myself out here. Well, yeah, basically, you know, rated 8, you know, that the Udes and the 9 and 10 can bounce a little bit more shots than the 8, but just the firepower starts going off the charts, and especially with the mobility forward and backward, not just, you know, going forward like most tanks. You know, you can pump out basically as much damage as, you know, 9s and 10s. Come on, gun. I'm banking on this guy not spotting me, but I think my luck might run out here. But my team, they're falling into the classic case of they won the hill, they were doing extremely well, then they kept popping over the hill, and they're just letting the enemy kind of chew them apart little by little now. Alright, now Tiger P coming up here. I'm just gonna pull back here. I'm not too inclined to brawl against him, even though he is... My team does have the base covered. Unfortunately for me, though, that's not exactly going to do us much good. Alright. Getting good shots on him. I got to worry about pretty much the rest of the map now, because, you know, they just kept poking out and dying. Like, you send so many tanks up there that once you're stuck, it's actually a bad thing to have the hill later on in the match if the enemy's just sitting there waiting for you to pop off of it. See, I know this IS-6 is kind of waiting for me. I'm just in a pretty bad spot now. I still have full H. I had full HP. I just jinxed myself there. Oh lord. But yeah, shooting up at an IS-6 is never something that you want to do. It'd be nice if he came off, but I doubt he's going to get off the hill. I just got myself kind of stuck here. Hello, Mr. Killer. Nice to see you. We're still not out of this yet. I'm glad they have not figured out that they can shoot this building. Oh. I just screwed myself there. God damn it. Oh, Lord. I'm gonna see if I can get lucky here. Nope. No such luck. But yeah, there's that black hole that people were talking about, the other stream. Oh well, I definitely played that wrong. I should have stayed over here. It's a lot safer, but I was worried they're gonna, you know, push on the other flank and basically take them out. Oh well. But problem with the Panther 2, you know, the gun on it, I just find it's a little bit, it is getting a new gun apparently. In a patch or two, they're looking to basically increase the firepower on it a bit. I don't really... Okay, I'm completely... There we go. Because it's just coming up from the Panther 1. Even though the Panther 1 doesn't exactly have, you know, very high alpha, the gun on it just feels right for a tier 7. But moving to the tier 8, it almost feels like a downgrade. To me, but yeah. Alright, so yeah, I'll play the 183. I can do the T57 Heavy, and then I also have to add in like the OHO. I'd like to get the Udes double done. I have the Leo to do, and then I think I have like the VK light tank to get done for a double. Yeah, I can play a T29, Martin. American tanks, I almost have every single one of them. So, I do not have a T10, unfortunately, Echo Baby. The closest I have to that would probably be either an IS-7, or I do have the WZ-111-14 for the Chinese. Compared to the T10, it just has a little bit less armor, but, you know, a bit more mobility and firepower. It's like I ground through that line before there even was. It used to be called the IS-8, but you know, I ground through it when it used to be the IS-4 and then the IS-7. So that's why I don't have that tank yet. Oh shit, I am spotted. I took that chance and it worked. Whew, that was nice. I feel bad for that guy a little bit though, but he was taking the same risk as me. It just didn't pay off for him. Yeah, I can do the VK 3601. Alright, so I hope that is not my only shot. I'll say that. I could... it's just, holy shit, our E100 doesn't have a fire extinguisher. I'm sure he's one of those people that sees, you know, all those streamers and quote-unquote unicums. Leopard, why are you trying to push me? You know, running without fire extinguishers, and they're like, I'm gonna do that too, and then, you know, they burn down and look stupid. Trying to get out here, just because everyone's huddled on that one little spot. It's pretty easy for... Didn't expect the grill to hit me though. Very nice job by him. That kind of sucked for me. Say I kind of know where he is. Don't think I hit him. It went a little bit to the right. Oh well. It's just that girl hitting me has made peeking out here a little bit more risky than I would like. Kind of missed my shot at the IS-7. I'm not gonna... Let's say, yep. I'm not gonna pop out there just in case of that, but go figure there's another 183. And that one shot on the 704 was my only shot. Awesome. Alright, I need to... I need to basically change my gameplay right now. I'm just being a little bit too aggressive and making some pretty stupid mistakes. So let's hop into the T57 here. Go figure though, I get killed by another 183. Alright, so we have two SPGs. Their mediums might be an issue for me, but at the same time it could be interesting running here. I'm probably going to encounter, I would say probably these two guys, but I might see a medium. But if I can win the 9-0 pretty quickly, alright, that's always nice, having someone say fuck this team initially, right before we start. Awesome. But yeah, that grill hitting me, I was not too happy at that. But, you know, he was sitting there and I should have kept an eye out knowing that he could hit me through there. Because Paris is all about, you know, those different sight lines and firing down those different paths. Shit. I kind of missed my chance. I could have taken one shot at him. Since I'm always a little hesitant to move over here in a heavy tank, just because I don't like getting bogged down. You lose a ton of HP trying to push through here most matches. I find it better to head over here, but with the amount of TDs on the team and also tier 10 mediums, that would make it a little bit difficult, I feel like, trying to make any progress over on that side. Yeah, the reload time on the 5100 it's a tad bit long. I'm waiting for this IS-7 to poke out. If he is gonna poke out, I was about to say there's a good chance we're not gonna see anybody over here. Just kind of looking at their team. But it does not mean that, you know, we can sit here and stop. We gotta push up to this next little ridge line and start getting shots into C4, C5. I do have the T28 HTC, yes. Unfortunately, Zip, I do not speak Russian. That's what it looks like you're asking me there. Obviously, I did not need to load this first heat clip since I did not run into anything with armor on this side. It isn't the biggest shot in the world. No, I'm not gonna want to take that. Awesome. E75 is set up very nice though. I'll give him that much. I knew that was coming. But unfortunately that did not pay off for me. Again, I was trying to listen to myself about not pushing things, but yep, I did the same exact thing. I was trying to force that shot in the JPZ to get him out. That backfired. Alright. Time to slink back a little bit. Fortunately, you know, our team is doing decent. It's just I did not want to lose that HP that quickly. It'd be very nice if I had a little bit more gun depression. It's just I'm tempted to push up, but I know I shouldn't, just because of that Action X keeps kind of poking his turret over, and he's able to spot me. Hello, Hayden. Nice to see you. Welcome to the What Not to Do in World of Tanks stream, at least so far. Okay. Slowly continuing to move over here. Shit. Yay, I did some damage. Well, one shot. There we go. Alright, we have an M41. He's making his way back there. I'm not too concerned about him, but he is gonna go after the T92 eventually. Bat chat? Okay, the bat chat looked like he was going to go back, but now he isn't. What the hell? I'll be nice and I'll head back and try to help this T92 out. Doesn't really help me damage-wise, but with the way things are going, hopefully I don't die by, you know, M41 back here. I'm going to venture to say that he had went up the K line towards K1, but he should be doubling back right about now. Thank you very much. I'll have to look in a second here. Thank you, Uber. That does cheer me up a little bit. Ah, shit. Where is this little bugger? Tips always put a smile on my face. Alright. If he had spotted me, he's somewhere over here. But I'm just covering. There he is. Really, an ammo rack? Not that I should need to reload here, but That's the last thing I need after the other day. The T92 said fuck this team, so I can make a sister site, not Guru. Funny, funny Moonlit. Thank you very much for that. Hey, let's see what this one guy was saying. Yes, I am American. Zip. That's what you're asking. But at least I got a win here. I guess I'll take that. Did we win the 183 match? Yes, we did. So let me try again. Or no, the Panther 2 was an alright match, but the 183 was not. So why don't I try the 183 again, since outside of that one shot, that was pretty terrible. And then I'll pop into the T29, and I could do the T28 HTC after that as well. Alright, and I get swamped from this side. I don't really like this side too much because there's not a lot of gun depression on this. And, you know, sitting in this spot, you're exposing a lot of your tank. Sitting here, exposing a lot. Over here, you don't have very good shots. Getting up in this flank, you're very slow, almost too slow. And you can potentially get up here, but it's still not a good map for this because you start out low and you have to kind of push up. But once you get to an enemy, you can't point your gun down enough without, you know, taking a ton of damage. Unfortunately, I don't have the Type 4 Heavy though. You know, I still have like, I think 50,000 experience to go on the OHO before I can just unlock it, and then I need to get the credits. I'm kind of running back into the problem of never having credits again. But hopefully one of these days I'll have time to just do, you know, like 2-3 hours of premium tanks. That usually helps things out a bit. Is typically with premiums, if you're running, you know, 50% credit boosts, I still have quite a few of them left. You know, you can make well over, you know, 1 million credits an hour. Alright, so we have a lot of people, sitting in the one spot where it's not exactly good to sit in for most of your team. It's just the enemy's pushing across the swamp now. If they make it across, as you see all of our guys are pulling back there in H6, once they make it across, you can't go back over to shoot the enemy because you're going to take a shit ton of damage. And yeah, usually I don't like going up to the castle. However, with the amount of enemies in this area, it kind of makes sense for me. If I head down here, I can potentially get, you know, kind of focused on being by myself. And you know, with the long reload of this, and the armor doesn't hold up against other 10s, even tier 9s a lot of times. You know, I'm not going to take that chance. Well, the Type 4 and Type 5 are getting buffed for a reason. Their armor isn't as good as it probably should be, even if it's not semi-historical, since, you know, they're based off of plans and not actual tanks. But they are getting buffed. So, you have that to look forward to. Alright, this guy is going to come up here. Ah, shit, I missed my one and only chance. Ho ho ho, why did I shoot that? Oh, I was expecting them to turn because there was that building, and yeah. Yeah, it's like the new gun is going to help too for those who, you know, want a howitzer gun. Like, I think it's going to help it a bit, but mainly the armor buffs it's supposed to get, that's going to help the most. Come on, gun depression. Let me point down. Holy shit. This E5. I want to help him, but I'm sorry, E5. You made it pretty damn hard to help you there. He pushes up, but then turns his backside to, you know, most of the enemies. Usually is not a good recipe for surviving. Keep hearing little whiny dog down here. Alright. Usually tanks that stay there don't move. So I'm just going to chuck around there. I can almost guarantee that there is a tank there. Now this JPZ, unfortunately these trees are not making it easy to guess here. It's just right now I can't afford to push out here. Alright, I'm gonna, even though this M103 is pushing out, I'll see if anything spots from him. But yeah, I can't afford to push on that M103. He's, I don't know what you're pushing into, dude. There's not just an M103 there. You're gonna have 2 RDs on you. Plus you're gonna have these TDs. I will try to maneuver over here, and look, you're dead. And you're probably gonna get mad, blah blah blah, these guys aren't helping me. Crap, how did he actually hit that guy? Yeah, obviously that chance did not work out there. Thank you very much, Moonlit. Much appreciate it. Yeah, the derp guns, I think they were saying, as far as the HE damage goes, it was somewhere around like 1,400, I'm gonna say, as far as the damage goes on the HE shell. So they look, I think it was somewhere around there. They look pretty decent, you know. Yes, it has. You know, the map hasn't changed much, but the way people approach this map is different, which is why you usually don't see me come up here. But unfortunately this tank is very one-dimensional. That's one of the only reasons I actually went up here. I'm gonna just hope that I hit the E4 again, but probably not. Thank you for that. It is pretty expensive, you know, to run Hess shells in this, but, you know, I'm not making it easy on myself. You know, if I'm in a match like this where this is long and drawn out, I'll take, you know, a couple shots and potentially miss, but yep, and I guess miss there, just a little high. Even though I don't like using AP as much in this, you know, it's still not, you know, a bad option. It's just it gives you a slight chance to bounce even off of stuff like an E4 here. I guess gotta worry here because, yeah, if they move, even though it looks like I can hit them very easily, there we go. There's this JPZ wreck in front of a lot of their tank. That's why I was trying not to aim left on that E4. There are mods that point out wrecks and stuff and dead tanks. They're kind of like a gray area to me because they do give you a pretty good leg up on other people in situations like that. Very nice. That allows me to pop up here. I've only done spotted damage, what counts right now, 1370. So it's going to be interesting to see if any of those Hess rounds actually landed on those tanks when I was firing blind. I'm going to venture to say I hit one of them. I don't think I hit all of them, or else, you know, the E4 would have died. Now I'll push up, though. It's a little bit less suicidal. than before. It's like when that first M103 pushed up, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? It is not worth you pushing up there. But at least we got a win here. It's like, as far as what I can see, I did 1,458 damage. We'll see if that bumps up any bit after the match here. But I'm definitely going to have a huge, huge ammo bill. As far as damage goes, I didn't hit anything else, unfortunately. Thought I might have, but I guess, yeah, I didn't hit anything else. But I was hoping to hit that E4 and just... I've one-shot them a lot with Hesh. But unfortunately, I missed them all. But I'll take it. It's a win. Alright, so T29 was the next request up. Hello, Jack. Nice to see you. That's not that weird. It is, and I think it kind of isn't at times, Uber. Basically, I've seen, even after they made like a clarification on as far as marking dead tanks, I also saw, you know, soon thereafter in a Q&A, and I think it was from Wargaming EU, they said basically when tanks are dead, you can kind of whitewash them to make them stand out more so than other tanks. They said that was, you know, one of those gray area ones where it wasn't strictly a bannable offense, but they still didn't condone you using it. It was a weird thing I remember them saying, where it wasn't in like the illegal category, but it wasn't in the approved category. How they kind of left the gray area. But there are some that, you know, as far as marking dead tanks, you know, there's other ones that I forget what exactly, but I don't know. I think they're cheating, but from what I saw, I could just be remembering, but I'm pretty sure they were wishy-washy on it. So I know you gotta love it, but I could just be remembering wrong here. But I wouldn't condone using them because they do provide you a decent leg up. It's like, especially if you combine them, which they're definitely illegal. The ones that make, you know, foliage a little bit more transparent and take it completely off the trees. Like lowering settings does actually make the game easier to play because it, you know, takes off some of the cover and stuff like that. But you know, you combine that with taking all the leaves off the trees, and you have yourself a very easy, you know, sniping opportunity. But you know, it's definitely illegal. Yeah, I can play the M56 Scorpion. It's like, as far as requests go, I have the T28 HTC after this, which this T29 match looks to be a little iffy because I don't have too much help here. And there's potentially a T10 coming through this side, so it'd be very nice if we just get one more tank. That's all we need. It's like the T10 down there looks like he's doing all right, but he doesn't have a easy road ahead of him. It's just if I push up and we both commit there, there's a very good chance that we're gonna get flanked. Yep, just as I move out of my little spot too, this T10. Yep. See, in that PZ4, he's like, oh, good game. He knows, like, this is not going well. It's like, I'm banking on him getting here in time to actually help me. But yeah, our T10 obviously is kind of stuck in a bad spot. I'm sorry for ditching you, dude, but shit. PZ4, help! Shit, I bounced. God damn it. There we go. Whew. This is, you know, still not good for me. But, yeah. I gave it my all. It's trying not to get arty. Which, oh, holy shit, I'm still alive. But town, and granted we did lose the base very quickly, but even though almost our entire team was over there, that pretty much prevents you from winning in any map. You know, if you have a strong flank and they lose to, you know, regardless if it's the weak or strong flank of the enemy, it's very hard to come back from that. Trying to get another shot off, but it doesn't look like it. Nope, I get artied. But yeah, I saw your request earlier, Abdul, for the VK. Thanks for reminding me. The Chieftain? Which Chieftain are you talking about, Chris? Which I think your VK, yeah, that was before the T28. Thanks, Abdul. I thought it was T28 then VK. Alright, there we go. Basically, you know, if you're talking about the Chieftain MK6, the Tier 10 Heavy, that's available on the Chinese server, which really isn't a real server in my eyes. It's just pure pay to win. But it is available on consoles. As far as PC version goes, though, on actual servers, who knows when it's going to be available. They have a plan for it. I feel like it's going to be a little mini branch with like a tier 8, 9, and 10, or just a 9 and 10 leading up to it, because they're not replacing the current tier 10 heavy tank with it. But it's planned for sometime this year. That's really all I can say about it without, you know, basically either getting in trouble or kind of throwing a bunch of guesses out there. I can play the IS-6, yes. I can add that to the requests. T95, I can, you know, get to that on request too. It's like after this, I have the T28 HTC up, and then yeah, the V, or no, I'm playing the VK now. Duh. Lord, at least there's no arty here, but there is a KV2, so we have a direct fire arty that's probably gonna whack me here, knowing my luck. Fairly confident in the turret armor on this if they're not throwing premium rounds at me. Heavy tanks though can pen me. Alright. Oh shit. I was about to say, you want to brawl with me? I'll brawl with you. You're definitely not going to like the outcome of it though. I very much like the penetration of the, you know, the small caliber gun on this. Shit, the KV2's coming back around. This is gonna hurt if he hits me. Fortunately, though, he missed, and he got his KV-1S killed. Alright, so... yeah. I was about to say, pushing on the KV-2 looks like a good thing, but right now, there we go. It wasn't good for the lightly armored tank because they had those light tanks back there that could easily take them out. very much would like to keep my accuracy very much, Hellcat, so stop shooting my gun. Shit. Not that I can aim here. My aim has been terrible today. There we go, nice little ammo rack. Sometimes I forget to aim, you know, underneath the turret. Oh lord, he has a chance to pen me. So does the Hellcat, but that tier, if it was the tier 5 Swedish DD, I'd just push up on him because he can't pen my turret for most spots, but this Hellcat has been a thorn in my side. Unfortunately for him, he does not have any armor. Yeah, very bad luck to be a T46 in this match. But that's what you get for platooning with a tier 5. Like, he brought that on himself. Okay, Chaffee. Thanks for shooting me. We still haven't gotten out of this yet. Only because they are capping, but I'm fairly confident we're gonna get there in time. Just, you never know. I have to hope that I can... Yep, there we go. Alright, now we should be fine. If we're not fine, then there is a problem. Alright, so let me add the T95 to the list here. Hello, Summies. Nice to see you. Or Sumsy. I'm glad you like me streaming. Always, I appreciate the compliments, guys. Oh, the Chieftain T95? I do not have that, Chris, unfortunately. That, I believe, because there's a Chieftain T95 and a T95/Chieftain. You know, they're Clan War reward tanks. I do not have them. I haven't done Clan Wars. I stopped before they started doing the reward tanks and campaigns. It's just... don't have enough time for that. Ask me a question. Why is planning ahead important? Well, outside of the obvious, as far as, you know, when I say, like, trying to... if you're talking about the game, like, planning ahead, I always, you know, I look at, you know, the team makeup and my team makeup before I even start the match. Which, hey, nice little ace tanker here. Let me just save this replay real quick. Pretty decent damage-wise. This tank, it's just... when you're against higher tiers, you are classified as a heavy tank, but play it like a medium. That's why I like playing with the, you know, this gun here, the 7.5. Primarily because, you know, it works better, I feel like, in those matches where you're lower tier, since it has a little bit better accuracy, better penetration, and, you know, it definitely suits this tank better for more matches. So that's why I typically go with this gun. Oops, I do not want to click on you. Let me hop into the next tank here, the T28. But as far as planning ahead, I always look at my team, enemy team mainly. You know, the enemy team's more important to look at. That way you can kind of see where you think they're going to set up. You're welcome, Abdul. Thanks for the request. Where they're gonna set up, and then, you know, once you see where typically the enemies are, more or less you want to plan ahead. Like, if you see you have like 3 people over, let's say we have 3 guys down here, because this is typically the where most of the fighting heads, and, you know, we have a couple guys here and here, and say I'm in the bridge, I'm gonna want to either help these guys, you know, because I know they're going to fall very quickly, push across the bridge before I can't, or basically something. You always want to plan a little bit ahead It's more important in slower tanks, say like this tank, T95, T28, stuff like that. But even in fast tanks, you want to kind of predict where the enemy is going to be in a couple minutes, because if there's a small little window for you to take out your the enemies in front of you before you can't do it because you're going to get flanked, you better push sooner, because you're just going to get flanked, plus you're going to have more enemies in front of you, if that makes any sense. But it doesn't always work out. It's very hard to know what things are going to be doing, because well, it's basically 15 enemies and 14 strangers on your team. But also, RNG, plus or minus 25% pen and damage, that can really turn the tide of really any fight, either direction. So, I'm lucky I bounced that. Trying to get my frontal armor back over now. Yeah, I can add the mouse on there. Well, yeah, that too with Artie. Like, typically, like this match. There is one SPG, but this isn't a very SPG friendly map. But also, if there's one Artie, typically I keep it in mind, but at the same time, if it's not shooting me, I play like there's no Artie, because they can only aim at one spot at a time. Alright, I think I'm going to want to set up here. I might take a hit here, or not. In real life, planning ahead, that's very important as well. Like some people, don't plan ahead in real life, but as far as the way I go about things, as far as like say myself and like Ryan are concerned, we have like the next like 4 years planned out, a rough outline. But like you always have to stay a step ahead. Like say even like I'm a chef right now. Like I don't plan on doing it the rest of my life, so you can't just up in one day say, hey, I'm gonna completely change my profession. I'm gonna become like I'd say like an astronaut, like something like that. I know that's a bad analogy, but you always have to have some sort of a plan. Doesn't have to exactly be detailed, written down, and fleshed out, but you have to at least think about it. The gun depression. My problem is, well, A, this Panther, but B, the Emil up there that I cannot spot. So I've got to hug this side a little bit. Just our teams are all over the place here. I don't have a repair kit now, so I've got to... Oh, dude. I know you're trying to help, but you literally just pushed in there and now we are down a tank. Alright, I'm switching over to APCR here. Because I can't push any further than, I currently have shots on his turret. Mainly because I'll get whacked from the left side. It's like they already have a chance to hit me if they push out a little further. And I miss. Like this tank has pretty good armor if people don't know where your weak spots are. But your gun on it definitely lets you down a little bit at times. The OI experimental definitely is a little bit broken. I will agree with that. Alright, let's see if I can get some shots on these guys semi-safely here. Come on, gun depression again. It's letting me down. It's just... I know the TDs are up there and they can poke over and basically one-shot me. So I'd rather do it to them. Alright, that helps a bit with that other TD down there. I guess I have to worry about the SPG, but I can take a shot or two from these two guys in front of me. It's just actually spotting them is the problem. They are turtling up though. This can be very iffy. T25, please don't block me. So I do need to approach this at a decent angle here, but yeah. Unfortunately, he does have fairly... Oh, I did not want to shoot that. He probably knows where my weak spot is. It's the little, like, boobs on the tank. And awesome. Yep, kind of saw that coming. We lost. Very nice job by that medium, but like, what else am I gonna do? I could sit back there, but then my other tanks probably would have got picked off, but oh well. Another little stupid decision I made. I was trying to be see ya Moon. I was trying to be patient, but yeah, got a little bit ahead of myself there. So next up, M56 Scorpion. Yeah, I do have a crew. So I'd say I don't know if it was in the T28 or not. But good job by those guys to know to pop down there. Mountain Pass, I hate that I keep getting it today because it's one of those maps, not that I want them to remove more maps, but Wargaming's actually looking to remove Mountain Pass or dramatically change it. Only because, like, say, it's mainly not for random battles, but for stuff like strongholds, clan wars and stuff, a lot of strategies are based around just camping way far back on your side near the base, because it's virtually impossible to break a turtle defense on them. But you know, outside of them dramatically changing the map, it's going to be hard for them to balance them. Chris, as long as you're having fun, like, I'm playing like crap tonight. Granted, I set very high standards for myself, but you know, as long as you're having fun, that's all that really matters. Alright, so another map where I'm gonna really, the only spot I can set up here in this little thing is like I set up the other night in, I think, the Dicker Max or E25 over here, or the other day. You know, put on a map where if I go into town, pretty much anything can take off like half my HP in one shot. I'm always going to get spotted. I can get rammed by virtually everything, and even the frickin' tier 4 light on their team can ram me and take off more damage than they'll take. But I'm going to play this cautiously. It's not exactly what I want to do, but especially considering nobody is pushing up here, which I don't blame them, but yeah, it's just, if we don't have you know, out here kind of covered, the enemy can fire a lot of shells into our tanks there if they don't push early enough. It's just, I'm tempted. Well, if you're looking to improve, the best thing, or I would say the easiest thing to do, is something I'm not doing very well today, is basically be patient. Try to stick with other people, and, you know, don't push into tanks that are already pre-aimed at you. But, you know, half the battle is knowing the map and your tank. But, you know, knowing weak spots definitely helps. Okay. Very nice. It's just, you know, half the mistakes, you know, you see me making now, which I see a lot of people make, which I like playing against because it makes it easier to kill them. you know, they push out at the wrong time, or they're not paying attention, and you know, they just push across the map, and you know, they're basically, their team has already spotted you, but they don't know that you're sitting right there. They're about to cross right in front of your gun, and you're about to take off, you know, a huge chunk of their HP. You know, minimizing those mistakes definitely helps you. It's like our team here. We just lost all of our heavy tanks there. The enemy was sitting basically right here, and our team just rounded that corner a couple at a time, and they just got blasted, and they just kept doing it, and they all died. Like, stuff like that, when that happens, it makes it virtually impossible to win your match. Not that there's anything you can do to fix, you know, other people doing that, but minimizing it yourself definitely, you know, helps out. Shit. I missed those couple shots by a very small amount. And I'm probably not going to make it out here. Yeah, no shit, the base. H35? If you're talking about the low tier, yes, it is a little bit. It's like I have the premium Minnie Mouse version, but that thing's pretty fun to play. Hello, Daniel. What do you... First time your top tank? First time today? Very possible, outside of me playing the T57 Heavy. I don't know exactly what you're asking now. I'm just gonna stick with heat. This light tank's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna keep moving back, so lessens the chance of me getting spotted. Really wish I had killed him, and of course he's dead. I didn't even register that in my head. Yep, this is not good. E25. Oh lord. But unfortunately, you know, where I set up, I usually don't like setting up, because a lot of the match is won basically in a small little spot, and we lost that pretty easily, and you know, coming back from that's difficult. But it's unfortunate, you know, playing a Scorpion tank, you have to rely on your team. A lot of the tanks I've played today, they're very team dependent, and unfortunately you can't always, you know, perform very well. I would like to think I'm a decent player. It's like, feel free if you want to look up my stats, but here's my service record if that matters to you. But there you go. Feel free to... Alright, so IS-6. Let's get on here. Just gotta... Shit, I need to get my crew. I've just gotta... Sorry, I just had to yell at my dog real quick. He's he's chewing his legs. He's not supposed to be doing that. No problem, Daniel. But if you would like any specific type of tank or kind of tank, you know, feel free to request it. I'll do my best to get to it as long as I own it. I would say I'm a decent player. Considering today I'm doing pretty bad today. But we have the IS-6 here, and then I have a mouse request. After that, I'm probably gonna pop into a few tanks I need to get my doubles done. That's very nice, Parker. Like, honestly, I think, Wargaming's, the personal rating metric is actually better than, win rate 8. Only because it takes into account all the, statistics like assisted damage, spotting, stuff like that. Win rate 8 doesn't. Alright. So let's say prepare for the little light tank to come across and spot us. Hopefully our team doesn't all stop right here like they usually do. It's very tempting to, but better just to, fire the shot and move on. Sitting out there will almost most likely get you killed if you get spotted. Hello Gary, nice to see you. Thank you Uber for reminding people about that. I always forget the, I always appreciate likes, subscriptions, stuff like that. Well, I won't beg for tips, but they're appreciated as well. This time of year I don't work my actual job, so definitely nice. Lets me eat a little bit more than ramen. No, I'm just kidding. Although occasionally, Ryan and I are still, like she's just finishing up college, we still eat ramen from time to time, but she always makes fun of me. I for like lunch or something, she's like, oh, you're probably gonna like chef it up. Like I put like stuff like fish sauce, soy sauce, I put like a little bit of veggies and stuff and meat in it. It's kind of funny. It tastes so much better though. Ah Lord. Luckily that did not turn bad for me. Oh, our T-34, what are you doing, dude? I'm gonna stick with APCR because I don't think I'm gonna be able to save you, but there's like a 1% chance I can help you here. So I kinda have to make every shot count. At least I got that guy off of you. Nope, you're dead. My only chance, I gotta straighten out here. Let's say I'm gonna take damage, but yep, I'd rather get another shot in on him than not. My problem is we have a lot of people sitting back here who aren't really doing much. At least they're kind of spotting my backside, this E2, but our team's kind of falling into the trap of going one by one into tanks here. Shit. Critical hit. This T26E5 is probably going to round back and try to hit me. And I know trying to back up here I'm going to get hit by this FCM. Yep, I pretty much knew. I gotta use my repair kit here. I'd much rather get shot by these two guys though than the T26E5 because that thing is really good frickin' penetration. Come on guys, winning the field is not necessarily something we need right now. Especially because they aren't getting anything accomplished there. I'm sticking with APCR here just because for whatever reason it feels like I'm the only one doing anything out of the tanks I already have left. It's like they somehow let the E25 through. Hopefully they kind of pick up on that. Okay. Now I gotta help this FCM. I can potentially one-shot the T26E5. He hasn't seen me yet. And of course it's a 0 damage. Critical hit. Awesome. Oh, I really wish I had loaded HE here. And I'm dead. Those freaking 0 damage critical hits annoy the hell out of me. Like, yes, I know I basically getting them. My shell went low, hit underneath his hull, but hit his track. But come on, like, give me a break. But it definitely doesn't help. Happy New Year, Gary. I didn't see the second half there. Thank you very much. Doesn't help that, 2 or 3 of our guys there just freaking dove in head on without, any support. Like, at least, like, tap the help button or something a few seconds before. But I'm not going to know that you're going to dive into 3 or 4 enemy tanks and basically kill yourself. Like, Chris, a lot of crews, basically the end of my garage, I have all these tanks that you see now. I check them off as primary tanks. They all have crews for them. It's just premium tanks. You're able, like, say, I don't know, let's say I have the T34 Heavy premium. I don't need a crew for that. I can put my T110E5 crew in that, my T32 crew in that. So all those tanks that you see without crews are either premium tanks, and I put other tank crews into it. They need to be the same nation and same type of tank. Or, they're regular tanks where they're in a premium tank right now, but I can just swap them back. But essentially, if you have a premium tank, and, you have other tanks for that nation and the same type of a tank, say like Russian heavy, Russian medium, French medium, stuff like that, it makes no sense to have a specific crew for that premium tank, because you're better off picking another tank of that same class and putting it in there. Yeah, nice. You got a... I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm not going to try. Metal. Very nice. I don't even think I have one of those. If I do, very vaguely remember getting one in an SPG before, somehow. Thank you very much, Gary. Glad you appreciated them. Hopefully it helped out. No problem, Chris. The crew side of World of Tanks is definitely not explained pretty well. Okay, so they're pushing that side hard. It's not easy to push this side, but if they help me, and we could kind of envelop them before they make it south. It will be interesting. I don't think I've seen in quite a long time no enemy tanks come, past the 3-4 line. Wouldn't be the first, but I haven't seen it in a long time, because typically, you get a few people. No, I do not, Jack. I do not have that TD. Nice, you got an E25? Well, welcome to the club, now that I have one. I have a few replays I'm going to be working on. Like, basically from every day from now on, I'm going to have a video coming out, regardless of whether I'm live streaming or not. I'm going to be releasing them noon, my time. But, keep an eye out for some replays. But there's some good E25 ones I need to record. I'm going to get some more done today. I have, I think, 3 Ace Tanker matches in it I have to do voiceover for. I purchased it. It was in the recent advent calendar, limited time sales. But currently it's not for sale anymore. Outside of if you play consoles, they're a little bit more lax on stuff, and you can get it on consoles pretty easily, I believe. Alright, I'm just gonna throw a wrench into their plans. They're getting pretty close to our SPG here. Not that I want to pull them into me, because it will mean I'm gonna die. But, I will very gladly pull them back from potentially killing all of our SPGs. Like, it does not make sense from a self-preservation standpoint, but, you know, I will gladly become a huge arty magnet for my team. I think I had the desired effect there. Be very nice if they could actually hit somebody, though. I haven't gotten any assist damage yet. It's like I know all of our SPGs are probably aiming south right now, but at the same time, you know, we still have to shoot at tanks that are actually spotted. Not that I've done any damage or assist damage or block anything yet. It's just, I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed here at myself. It's just we're losing a lot of tanks, and shit. I got a Skoda T50. Alright, I gotta pull back now. Just all of our guys in the center pushed up into people that weren't spotted. Oh well, I misplayed this a little bit. I was banking on, you know, the enemy coming back, shooting at me, and then everyone else got shots, and kind of worked out vice versa. They just shot everybody else and left me sitting there. Whatever. Seems like most of my plans tonight haven't exactly worked out very well. I am still a little shocked, though, that I have no assist damage. Yep, I'm just gonna get heat to death by a T57, maybe. I missed him. Oh well. But go figure. I pop on the cap, and, you know, the enemy was right about here, you know, because it's a little bit raised, this road here. And, you know, after that, our SPGs probably just sat there aiming at them and didn't do much else. But, oh well, what can you do? At least we won the IS-6 match. I know. I still hate playing it, Uber. Or, like, hate playing against it, the E25. The reason I want it won is because it is a pretty broken tank. Depending on, like, it's not good brawling. Like, there's some matches you get if, you know, your allies don't push out and you have nowhere to kind of hide. Then it can be, you know, a struggle, but... I guess 2016 was the year of I really fucking hate the E25. Excuse me. Ugh, poor little dog. Excuse my language too. But yeah, it's just this little tank. A lot of people, I keep getting, like, people send messages and stuff about it adding into the standard tech tree from that one little promotional tech tree they put up at Wargaming Fest or Tank Fest. It's not gonna happen. Like, it was stupid by their PR department to put it on there to make the tech tree look fuller. But this little tank, if this was available in the tech tree or something, or for sale on a regular basis, I would probably never play a tier 5 or 6 tank, or even a 7 again. It's just, this one, basically a lot of TDs used to be like this. Like I remember, like the Object 268 is, you know, considered to be a pretty damn bad tank destroyer now. But it used to be virtually unspottable if it had camo crews, a camo net, or even without a camo net at times. If it was behind a bush. I remember a lot of matches where I just couldn't spot those damn things. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. Just I'm very short, so that could work out to be in my favor. Unfortunately, that IKEA tank is not very short for him. We do need to kill him, though, because that could prove to cause some issues for us. If he wasn't up here, I could blind fire on pretty much all of their tanks. I'm going to take a definite hit here from him, but I know he does not have a derp gun on him. The tier 5 does, he does not. So I will gladly take a shot from him. Alright, the FV304 is basically straight ahead there. From where he was shooting me from. Yep. Let's say I'm just a pinch too close to this super Pershing. Yep, he is definitely over there. Where exactly? There we go. Found you. He's probably going to be so pissed. That wasn't even just the E25 being, you know, a little bit overpowered in spotting. Because it is a little... The thing that makes it broken is its camouflage, but just the speed and the decent view range it has makes it a very good scout tank, actually. But, you know, I would have been able to spot him regardless, even if I was in another TD. Oop, there's the other one. He's gonna drown himself. What a good guy. I love people that drown themselves because they're paying more. You pay more in repair cost for drowning yourself than you actually do. Oh lord. Oh god. There we go. I meant to do that. Let's brush that off. That is how you go down a hill in E25. Oh, I'm so glad I did not flip myself over there. That would have been embarrassing. He's aiming right where I was going to pop up. Go figure. I'd say you can gladly sit here and look at me, but I am not going to give you free damage. I will wait till you are not looking at me. But yeah, you know, it's not the best in every situation. Like I said, it's not good at brawling, stuff like that, but, you know, it's too good for a TD, because essentially it's a TD and a light, and that's the problem. Like, they did a blanket nerf for TDs as far as view range and camouflage while shooting, to basically bring them out of a spotting role, because, you know, back before then, TDs could basically, a lot of them were more effective at spotting tanks than light tanks, because they had the camouflage and they could shoot and not be spotted. Alright, so I need to get an oh-ho match in here. But if there's you know, if there's any other requests that people have. I still have plenty of time. I have over an hour left here. I'm surprised I didn't take damage doing that little tumble down. I was surprised at that, or at least like damage my tracker. I don't know. I got a little lucky there. A little bit luckier, and I was watching another streamer yesterday because I was playing a little bit of Civilization 6, and he was on what is it? Winterberg, and he hit like a little piece of rubble, and he flipped his tank over upside down, and he was just like, "Fuck." Oh well, but back to the Oho. This tank, top tier. It's hit or miss depending on what's going to be shooting at you. Like four of their tier 8s can pen me very well. IS-6 if it uses gold. I like playing this when I'm not top tier because typically I sit further back, I angle so I can actually use my gun depression, and I just kind of chuck HE at people and hope for the best. But top tier, I don't even know why I took that shot there. I kind of have to tank a few hits for my team. Yes. There's another guy. He's probably like, oh, all the Unicums use food. I don't need a fire extinguisher. Whenever I see people catch on fire, that's basically the question, or not the question, what runs through my head. Because it's been going up as time goes on. Thank you for the subscription, James. Lord. I'm trying to go backwards, and it was going up the frickin' hill still. But this is a problem with this tank. Everything can see me, and I cannot see them. And, you know, he can just spam, not even gold, just standard rounds right through the front of my tank here. And I am not in a good spot now, because I have no spotters. No spotters south, but I'm going to try to get back here. I know I'm going to take damage from at least the T56 It's just, why can't we spot him? Like, didn't help that the Tiger 1 freaking shot me too, but I was trying to help the south out there, but I can't do it. Can't do it alone when, you know, Patriots and other tanks can just chuck rounds right through your frontal armor because it's not angled. Yay, I did some damage. I'm just wiggling here just in case T29 decides to load up APCR. If he hits a flat part of my armor, he can go through it. I've tried the AT2 with the derp one. I like the little dinky one on it, but both guns are viable on that tank. Oh Lord, are we gonna let a 400 HP Patriot take us apart? Because I would go and face him, but I have this KV3 here that can damage me if I get out of cover too far. It's like our TDs can shoot there. Like, that's one thing that I hope they realize, that they do have shots. Cool, I am glad I hit that. Thank you for damaging my gun. And I do not mean that in the literal sense. Surprise, I hit him in his gun with a, you know, HE round and it doesn't even damage it. I would very much like to get the T34 out, KV3, something. Like, because they're having a lot of trouble with the tanks, you know, behind me here. Somehow this low is not able to get the T-34 out in front of him. Don't know how that is. I guess I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble here and push up. Thank you, IS-6. That was awesome. Granted, he shot me in my side armor, and the side armor is very weak in this. But I didn't want to push up for that reason. Which, shit, I missed my chance to kind of retaliate against the IS-6 here. Oh. No, the KV-3. And also the IS-6 here can actually shoot me. I'm gonna risk going through this gap. It's just I have a tank behind me as well over in E0 that can shoot me. I freaking missed him. That's what I get. I should have known better not to shoot him. That was way too small of a shot for me to try. Do I try it again? He like fits perfectly into that silhouette. I really hope he makes a mistake. I don't know how lucky I can get in this thing for much longer. I'm probably gonna die here. Yup, KV-3 finally got me. I hate the dead tanks though. Basically, the way the game engine is, any HE shell that hits a dead tank negates all splash damage. I actually really hate that. But it does help prevent artillery shots from murdering you, but yeah, at least we're going to get a win here. But, oh, that KV-3, he was doing a pretty good job at hiding. As far as the penetration on this, you know, it's 121 for AP, 150 for heat. You know, you can use them, but mainly the use of those rounds on OHO is overmatching other tanks. You're not going to be able to rely upon it elsewise. But hello, Busu? I can't pronounce that. But yeah. Oh, I'm not even gonna try. It almost reminds me of Sue, like Sue and Susef. So, well, yeah, you can. Food on SPGs isn't a bad idea. It's just more or less. I don't know. It's I don't use it because it's really expensive, but I feel like on regular tanks there's downsides to it, but the people I see using it, like, you know, the streamers and people promoting to use it, like, they don't need to grind credits. They have so much gold, not all of them, but a lot of them don't need to grind credits, and they're just mainly playing for their stats. So I can see why they use it, but yeah, no problem. I was trying my damnedest with HE there. It's just hitting dead tanks, you know, negates all splash damage. It's just part of their game engine. Unfortunately, until they change that part of it, no splash damage for hitting anything destroyed. Even if you just barely clip it, it, you know, negates the whole round. He's just outside of my V range, fortunately. Now I just need this gun to actually... It's very accurate, but I just need it to actually hit him. Alright, we don't really have too many spotters right now. I'll test my luck just doing a quick little thing here, but I might die. Spotted the other guy over here. He is pushing hard. A little bit harder than I would like, because I do not want to brawl against him. If I had a 300 damage gun, I would be a little bit more inclined to. I'd very much like him to waste his first shot by shooting at that, you know, the truck there. But this thing has literally no armor. Okay. I do not want to cross there as a KV-85. Yeah, using, you know, this gun or the 300 damage 10 centimeter, I believe it is. You know, either gun works on this. Like, I recently just switched over to this smaller one. You know, it's just, they have their ups and downs. Like, but for more matches in this thing than not, I found this gun would be the better of the two. If I could actually aim correctly. Like usual, I'm not going to cross. You saw a shot there. Not going to cross there until they get those guys spotted. I know better now. Echo Baby, the discounts, like they were supposed to be for New Year's, but North American server, the only server that did not get them, as far as, you know, like 15% off tier 8 to 10. It was the first year they've ever not given those discounts for the NA server, and unfortunately that doesn't look like they're coming. The next time that they usually do it is around a major holiday. And I think Martin Luther King Day is coming up here soon, but I don't think they'd do it for that. Like, no offense to MLK. It's just, typically it's reserved for, like, Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, stuff like that. They had New Year's, they had some sales as far as for Christmas. They didn't really do anything for New Year's for the NA server. It's pretty much the first year they did not do that. The rest of the servers did. You know, they had discounts on high tier tanks, stuff like that, but you know, unfortunately they didn't do it for the NA server. I'm just gonna cap here. It's like we do have a pretty good chance to just kill them all, but I'm still not gonna risk it. But yeah, if anybody has any other, you know, requests, feel free to mention them. I'm just gonna try to get some doubles done that I need to, but otherwise, you know, I'll pop around in some different high tiers. If you guys don't want me to cap, you have 11 seconds to kill them all. Well, the Russian server, I believe their advent calendar is still going on. Like, granted, you know, Christmas is different over there, but yeah. Look, that guy was bright, and I think he popped off of the cap. But I wasn't pushing down there because they still have 3 tier 8s. Like, granted, odds are in our favor, but you never want to get off the cap and then lose. And when people say this, like, I'd rather go for a sure win, but you getting off the cap doesn't... You're helping some random person, but honestly, at the same time, you're just basically, thanks, that guy's trying to ram me. Like, I don't care about people complaining. We already won, Borsig. Like, I'm trying to get my own experience here, and getting off the cap would actually hurt that. I don't care about people complaining about capping, but that guy trying to ram me to reset the cap, that's pretty much a dick move. So, on to the blacklist for you. Hello, Sam. Nice to see you. Yeah, I can hop into the Chivalry. Did we win? We did win the Oho match. Great. Yeah, pretty decent amount of damage for an Oho. Blocked a lot. Assisted with a bit, too. Well, technically, Echo Baby, the North American, because Wargaming has talked about this before. Um, Not specifically for World of Tanks, but they do. Some people get financial details about them because Wargaming actually owns a bank in Cyprus. Basically, they have stated some things before, but the North American server, they make the most per player. As far as each player, not everyone spends money, but they make the most per player per server. However, as far as raw like profits and income, the Russian server and European server are so much larger than the North American and even the Southeast Asia server that they actually do not make the most. North America does not bring them the most money. Um, you're not going to find anything, concrete like they provide all their financial details about it, but they have touched on the subject before. But it is something where NA, they do make more money per person, but on a grand scheme of things, like basically take the North American server. They have anywhere from like 20, 30,000 people online, prime time at night. European server has like 300,000. Like it's a huge difference. And then the Russian server flirts this time of year specifically with like 800, 900,000, stuff like that. As far as primetime numbers, Southeast Asia is around North American numbers, but still much lower. Yeah, I can play the Scorpion G. Tier 9, the T54E1. I can play that. I do not have, the patent at Tier 9. I sold that, unfortunately, a long time ago. It's a very good Tier 9 medium. Alright, the IS-6 is going to cause some trouble for us. Shit, why did I reload? I was expecting that Tiger 1 to pop over, but... Alright, guys. E25, I would... Alright, TVP. I was gonna let you buy, but why do you have to come exactly where I was sitting? Like... That annoys me when people do that. Like... E25, same with you. You have room to go around me. You do not need to frickin' grind up exactly where I'm at. Like... And they're probably still going to try to run away here. It's probably the worst time for a freaking phone call. Oh, awesome! They're gonna rush in now. Oh, I know exactly who was calling too. It's one of those freaking. I have it programmed in my phone now. For whatever reason, I get. It's about 2 or 3 times a week. You have won a trip to the Bahamas. Like, no, I have not. Leave me alone. Yeah, I'm definitely screwed here. Not that I was gonna live anyway, but that was a really bad frickin' time for. God damn you, Bahama people. Stop trying to steal my information. Yes, I know I have... Yeah. I now have 5 new voicemails as of 1 minute ago. It's the same thing every single time. Alright, Scorpion G. Sorry about that, guys. As you can tell, that annoys the hell out of me. I agree. I have the same problem, Jack, at times, mostly with German tanks. Why do I think the game doesn't have a following? Honestly, I know it's not as large as like European and Russian numbers, but I don't think the population is that bad for the North American server. If you're looking at North American games that World of Tanks is, I think, 7 years old, look back at games that are that old. You're going to be hard pressed to find games that still have a healthy, like North America, it's not really declining population wise. As far as the average play time per player, it's getting a little bit lower because people that are sticking around have less tanks to grind. But you'll be hard pressed to find games that are 7 years old, purely PvP, that are still sticking around. Like there's still, you know, like outliers that are there, and MMOs, but strictly like say I classify World of Tanks specifically in a like the NA server population, like as a FPS or third person shooter, stuff like that. That's the most relatable it is to other games. Like 7-year-old Call of Duties or even Battlefields, they don't have the population that World of Tanks has. But as far as why it hasn't caught on, I just feel like as far as the ease of someone getting into the game, North American servers, they're less likely to learn a game because it's very hard to even understand how crews work in World of Tanks. But I find it stupid they still give people like 50% crews starting out, and the barrier just to getting to tier 5, it's an uphill climb where you're at a huge disadvantage compared to other players. I feel like that turns a lot of people off, more so than not understanding all the game mechanics. It's just, it's your tank's gimped from the get-go unless you chuck a ton of money into the game for crews. World of Warplanes is still running, honestly, and they don't have a huge population, but they did introduce bots, and it is a playable game still. But as far as the NA server, it's just as far as what people play, it's since World of Tanks is a pretty unique game, I feel like unless they release a new World of Tanks game, and since it is popular now, I feel like games, they have a shorter window of success for, say, North America, South America to an extent, but where people, they pick up a new game. If they like it, they keep with it, but they're much more likely to move on to, the newest, most popular thing rather than try older games that they feel like, are kind of inferior. But I play World of Warplanes. Actually, I probably bought like three premium planes there. I had a little bit of fun with it. I will say it was discouraging when it didn't take off. I do feel like it is an inferior game to War Thunder, but I still have it on my PC, honestly, because you can pop in from time to time and get some really good free XP. They run free XP events, and it does tie over to your World of Tanks account, free experience. So you can actually earn experience quicker and bring it over to tanks if you're inclined to do so. That guy is not really moving, and of course my shell lands a little bit low. But as far as the population goes, like it takes I don't even know how long on average, probably 10 seconds or under to get into a match. That's until it gets to 30 seconds to a minute, whether the population's higher or not, it doesn't really impact the player, I feel like. But yeah, which I actually yesterday I did play World of Warships yesterday for I think 3 or 4 matches. Finally picking that game up again. It'll be a little bit of time before I do videos and stuff for it again, but I had a little bit of fun. It's just what really turns me off about World of Warships is the spotting system. I feel like does not work in that game. The freaking destroyers, like even outside of smoke, I get how smoke works. Like I played the game way back in the beta for World of Warships, but I just feel like destroyers popping up, right next to you is pretty much one of the biggest issues I have with that game right now. But not a great match in the Scorpion G, but I didn't die. So why don't I hop back into the Scorpion G, since that was a pretty crappy match. Hello, Foreplay, nice to see you. Are you saying the wait time for most matches is 30 to 60? Every now and then I see it happen, but almost like looking just on the stream here, and this is early on, almost all your matches start in the first few seconds here. But regardless, like I don't know, it's just population wise, I know a lot of people, they're just trolls on the forum, say like, oh, it's dying, and they say this and everything. Like, I still like League of Legends is very popular, like World of Warcraft's still very popular, but just look back at games, like that's how addicting and good World of Tanks is, that are as old as World of Tanks, and it's one of the very few remaining that still can be considered having a healthy population. And not that it's growing on the NA server, but the Russian server still hits world records as far as the amount of people on a specific server and stuff. It's 2 years in a row now they've hit it. Yeah, I'm kind of the same with World of Warplanes. Like, I play it when there's events going on to carry over free experience, but outside of that, like, I don't like flying. Like, even when I made a few videos for it, you can still find them here on YouTube on my channel for World of Warplanes. I even mentioned in there, like, I don't really have any interest in flying. Like, I like tanks now, but initially when I got into this game, I mainly played like shooters before then, and like story games like Final Fantasy, but I got into this game because it's it's relatable to like a first person, third person shooter, and I like the competitive side of it. World of Warplanes, yes, it was kind of competitive, but planes doesn't really draw me in, outside of I have a air museum like 3 minutes from my house if I walk. What is this guy doing? Okay. So I'd say I was gonna shoot at him, but didn't need to. Which, anyone watching, if you're not a subscriber, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I put, out live streams and regular videos on a daily basis now, and feel free to like the video as well if you like me streaming. It's always appreciated. Slowly I think winning people over here on YouTube. I've looked into, I know a couple of you guys have mentioned dual streaming, on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I looked into that again, and I still feel like the available options for that, there's still too many downsides than upsides. Like, yes, I'd get a lot of viewers, or not a lot, but more, streaming on 2 services or more, but there's a pretty significant risk of the stream dropping, its connection. And there'd be nothing that I could do about it. I'd have to, kind of basically, if it dropped YouTube, getting it back up is basically, the services available now, it's very difficult to reconnect it to that service without manually doing it. So yeah, I don't want to be streaming, say, the both, and then say YouTube drops, and then it's kind of like, sorry, like I just don't trust putting my stream in the hands of another service. Because essentially how they work is you send your stream signal to someone's server, a company's, and they restream that to whatever service you would like. Unfortunately, I don't have the FV4005. I do have the FV215B 183. I do not have that specific, 183 millimeter though. I can see him. Okay, just trying to back up a little bit here. No, come back up. No one shot at you, T57. You know you want to pull back up. Oh lord, I'm gonna try it. Shit, no, I wouldn't even had a shot there. Come on. I don't think he's gonna push forward. And maybe he will. Yeah, it's just shots here. I know I can get them, but yeah, there is just that little corner of the house still sticking out. But at least we got a win here. Most amount of damage. Pretty decent for a Scorpion G, but nothing off the walls. But since I don't have a FV405, I do have. I can pop back into the 183 here, since that's the closest I have to it. But I still have 45 minutes left. So if there's anything you would like to see, feel free to mention it in chat, and if I do have it, I will play it for you. Which hopefully by, I'm thinking next week. I've mentioned a couple times before, as far as my Facebook for WoT Guru, almost at 1,500 likes. I'll be doing a giveaway once it hits that, a day or two after, once it hits 1,500. So keep an eye out for the post for that. You'll just have to comment with your World of Tanks name to be entered for that. But we're getting very close, so if anyone's not a, if you're on Facebook and you haven't liked WoT Guru, you have a good chance to be entered in for gold. Regardless of the server you're on. I just can't, gift to the Russian server. But even if you don't want to follow it, like it, and then after the event, feel free to unlike it. It doesn't bother me. I can play the Cromwell. I have the Cromwell B, but, they're virtually the same. Oh lord, they have two Emil 2s. I'm glad I have Hesh rounds. I know, not everyone does Facebook, but it's something I started, and every 250 likes, once it gets close, I feel, obligated to mention it, just in case if, people here haven't seen it, they have a chance. Thank you, Dana, for the request. And also thank you for the tip. I say you could have just requested the tank, but I'll gladly hop into it. Thank you very much. Okay. Just the Emil 2, I know I can't even penetrate the turret if I had AP. But I don't think they're really going to give me a Hesh shot. Levi's like, why is the stream 3 hours today? He can't get comfortable. Oh, I could have shot him there. Oh, hi, dog. I'm tempted. I think when he gets spotted again, I can get him. I should have taken the shot earlier. Which, the stream was almost onto this microphone on my headset here. I don't use it because it's not the best quality. But earlier today, I was playing with Levi. And I have my microphone when I'm not streaming. It kind of sticks out off of my desk. And he thought the microphone was one of his toys. And he like kind of hops onto it. Luckily, he didn't bite it. But he looks at me like, oh God, what did I do? It was just kind of funny. You know, it's one of the tanks. Cromwell's not my favorite tank to play, I'll be honest. I like to comment over it. It just, I don't like the on-the-move accuracy. But it would be nice for us to actually have a spotter. I would go to the center, but I couldn't shoot. Like sometimes if I'm in a tank that won't really work in the center, I will go, but in this tank, no. There's literally no chance for me to get shots off. Come on, aiming time. No. Not gonna happen. It's just, I can't get clear shots to be able to take them. Now I might be able to. He's back and he's sitting there. Awesome. Woo! 655 damage. That is very nice though. I don't even think I have 2 marks of excellence on any tank. Granted, I don't play any tank enough to actually get to near 100 matches in the time frame. The E50M's pushing now, so we don't have a spotter in the center. But it just sucks because we have 2 Emil 2s that could work perfectly in the center. They have 12 degrees of gun depression, and it would just work out great. But ours are sitting in the back camping. It's just, I just don't get it. Like, but I can play the, you know, the Cromwell B for you. It's, you know, they're virtually the same tank. Tempting, but again, it's just, oh, I don't really have too many spots I can go in this. It's just, it sucks because we have literally nobody in the center. I think we had 1 tank there and, you know, he died pretty early on. But the 2 tanks with impenetrable turrets will not go and hold down where, you know, they're able to hold down. They're hiding in the frickin' back. Which it annoys me that I'm kind of stuck in this spot too, but, you know, this is really the only spot that my tank works right now. See ya, Jack. Have a good day. Nice chatting with you always. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you, you know, another stream. If not, you know, next week when there's early ones again. Nope, I'm not camping because of that, but why you're still in this match because you died like 4 minutes ago is beyond me, because you can move to a different match. Do I do it? Oh, I knew that wasn't going to work. I was shooting him through the freaking train. But hopefully he's not talking about me. Not that I'm a heavy tank, but oh lord. Our JPZ might take a ton of damage here now. Yep, there's all their TDs coming out from hiding. I just need to actually aim in here. Like, I'll give the WZ-120 some credit. He tried. It just... I'm just preemptively moving back here. But I hate just waning, you know, and giving the enemy the chance to... basically work. I basically like thinking and, you know, trying to flank and basically beat the enemy tactics wise. I hate just sitting back and waiting for them to basically, you know, mess up in their plan. I'm gonna try with this. It's just, can I aim in quick enough? Accuracy. Nope, did not work. But yeah, we're screwed now. This is gonna be an expensive match as well, but really the only other spot I could have set up is right behind like the little road that comes over the train tracks, and shoot onto the hill, but even then, that's even limited shots over there. I was about to say I should have a shot on this guy, but... it's gonna get ugly here in a couple seconds. Smooth, baby. I wouldn't mind saying that, as long as if it's not quickie. Yeah, I know I'm taking damage. I'm just trying to spot some people. So I know I'm gonna be hard pressed to get any more damage off here. But I hate, you know, being one of the last ones alive when I pretty much just sat back here. It's just, I couldn't have done anything else. I like playing tanks where you at least have a couple options to work with. This one, some maps you're just stuck with one thing. Come on, someone push in here, please. I'm not going to push out and kill myself for no reason, but please come and end it. Hey, I got 15 assist damage. Awesome. Oh, Lord. There we go. Someone's here. At least I got a little bit more damage off, but finally. See you, Abdul. I'm glad I got a pretty good match into VK for you, but have a good night. I'll see you around. Hopefully, one of the next streams coming up. Got the most amount of damage, but lost 52,000 credits. Oh, Lord. I had no problem before play. I saw that, about the gold. The way when I do events and giveaways and stuff, I just essentially... the Cromwell was up next. Essentially, when I do giveaways, I know a couple people asked how I pick people. More or less, I just assign everybody a number. Usually it's based off of when you entered, and I just go to randomnumbergenerator.com or whatever, and I plug it in, and that person wins. So I got the Cromwell, and then the WZ-111-14. I didn't forget about that, Dana. I was scrolling down there, I knew for some reason, towards the end. Alright. So, Cromwell B. Let's see. Probably gonna go over to this side. The bridge is important. Okay. Hasn't been, not that it isn't important, but I remember when the map used to spawn on either side. The bridges were very important then. There used to be clan war strategies where people would put mouses and block every bridge and you couldn't get across because there was no river crossings. That was pretty funny. Since there's nobody out here with me, I don't want to push up and spot any further than this, to be honest. Great, we have a blue person. Yes, I know I'm knocking down a ton of trees. Obviously, Artie is not aiming over on this side for me. Enemy Artie is, but guess I got that going for me. Trying to help those guys out. They should win that side pretty easily. Whether or not I stay alive long enough, though, is a very good question. I was hesitant to go up any further. Just because if I die, then, you know, there's nobody else spotting over here. Very proud of our team for not killing that blue guy, though. I hate when people do that. Unless he's like team killing you, just leave him alone. Like, doesn't help killing your own player, even if they are blue, you know, in those situations. Ah, thanks for the subscription, Baloo. You made a critical error, Cromwell. Oh, okay, obviously I should just aim in here. So I just lost more HP than I wanted to. Yeah, I should have, honestly. It doesn't help that the stripe ran away. Here we go. Let's get my radio man back up. Should be safer scouting down this way. Got a little bit lucky there. Hopefully, good. He can't spot me. Come on, Streb 74, and he got me. I knew he was sitting behind that little bush, but we got a win here. Hello, guy, or hello, Ming. Oh, I always had to catch myself to not to repeat what you guys are saying. Yeah, it's like I'm not. See, I don't mind matches like that where, you know, I did more good by being over there and distracting like 4 or 5 tanks than I would have been on the other flank. I would have did a lot more damage over there, you know, pad my win rate 8, but I'd rather get a win. So that's something, you know, that's one of the main reasons I stick with, you know, YouTube gaming over Twitch. It's just a lot better as far as rewatching streams, rewinding streams, than Twitch. But don't need to get into that again. It's just once they get basically the features for sponsorships and allowing me to add like custom stuff for you guys, that's when I am very, very much going to be happy. But you never know. Hopefully I get in, you know, it's still in beta. Until they release it, I can't get it. But they keep sending surveys like asking about YouTube gaming and live streaming, since, you know, not everyone live streams as much as, say, I do. I know a lot of other streamers stream a lot more than me, but, you know, they definitely send a lot of surveys to me as far as live streaming, so why not invite me to all your live streaming feature betas? That would be very nice. Okay, I'm gonna try to squeak in here. So I see 3 artillery pieces. Oh, he got lucky. Oh Lord, I am not lucky now. Go figure, the one frickin' autoloader on their team pushes into me, and yep, no one's gonna help me here. It's like I can't move too much because there's that T-34, but oh, thank you very much, E5. That honestly saved me. At least there's one person paying attention. Like, he just lost a lot of HP, but we had a girl back there that could have pushed up too. Like, I'll give Mayan a prop there. It's just T-54E1 did a shit ton of damage to me. That wasn't a bad move by him, even though he died. It's just, Grill, come on Grill. You know you want to focus on this Oho. And he's probably not, but I can still hope. Trying to track him there, but at least he missed. Ah shit, I wasn't expecting him to push up. Oh well, he got me. I'll pop back into this Dana since this didn't exactly work out. But yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't have our TD spotting, or not spotting the one line, but supporting us there. So I'll hop back into this after the SU-122-44, since that, you know, that was a pretty crappy match there. But was not expecting, you know, basically their only autoloader to push into me. But, oh well. But unfortunately, you know, downside of that tank, very little armor. People were actually talking about, you know, since the WZ-111 at tier 8 got buffed armor-wise pretty significantly, you know, the tier 9 one armor is very lacking compared to it. And they're like, oh, why don't they get buffed? Because they're the same tank hull and turret and everything except for the gun. That would make that tank so overpowered if it had the tier 8's armor that they'd have to nerf the gun. I almost hope that they don't do it, but we'll see. Not exactly the best map for this in the world. I think I can make it work over here, though. I have a T57 that can try to help spot for me. But considering there's only 3 of us, I actually don't want to push now. You know, if I had like 1 other tank, maybe 2, I'd consider it. But yeah, we essentially we have like 1.5 tanks because the T57 doesn't have much HP. And if he survives an initial fight, he's probably just going to run away. Glad I bounced that. Unfortunately, though, I can't fight against a Tiger P. For me to get shots on him, I'd have to pull far enough out to where I would, you know, get shot by artillery. It's KV1. Got him. You can shoot through those walls. Not everyone pays attention to that, though. Very nice. Alright, now I'll consider... oh, that went pretty wide. It's very tempting, you know, to try to push up here, but just trying to repair my gun before I shot that, but that didn't work. Okay, let me see if I can spot him again. Nope. Okay, E25. I think I can do this. I want to make sure I land my first shot. I was just looking at the tanks they have left, and I think he might be the only one with potentially a Stug behind him. I don't know. I knew I shouldn't have shot that, and I still did it. That's like my worst, like, it's my worst trait, is I frickin' shoot tanks that have been destroyed. I don't know why I do it. I just can't frickin' help myself. The Tiger 1 should get shot by the KV1, but I'll gladly kill him. Okay, that hurt. That really hurt. I was not expecting all of those tanks there. Yeah. I'm glad that they sat there. Had they pushed up, we would have lost our side. Instead, they camped. Give me your little M6, even though you're probably going to die before I get to you. Yeah, the Challenger is going to get him. Alright, so next up I'll play the WZ-111-14 again. There's actually a mod, I believe. I don't think it's legal, though. Like, by the least part, that if a tank's destroyed, it prevents you from shooting at it for X amount of seconds. It's definitely not legal, though. I just saw someone bring it up before, and I'm like, that does not seem good. Luckily, I angled a little bit there. Shit! I wanted to hit the flat part. Thank you, OI. I actually never went to see it, Echo Baby. I tried 3 days in a row. Like Ryan and I might see it sometime this week because it's still in theaters. We tried 3 days in a row. The people we were going to go with couldn't find babysitter, and we ended up basically just spending time at our house. We watched a couple movies here, you know, with her family that was up, but yeah, it's like I don't know. It's the movie that doesn't want me to go see it. Like the universe does not want me to go see Star Wars. But I actually wanted to look at that. I didn't actually pay attention. Decent amount of damage, but all right, back into the WZ. But yeah, for whatever reason, let's see. Let's hop back into there. Yeah, I figured they would have to change that up a little bit, because as far as I think the actors, they're not around anymore. But basically, trying to see that movie, part of her family didn't want to see it because they're like, oh, we already want to see it. And then later on, that was a lie, and they didn't go to see it. And they're like, oh, we don't want to go. Another person, same thing, wouldn't go see it, and basically could have babysit it for the people that did want to see it in our little group, and they wouldn't. So, awesome. You gotta love family. Or soon to be family. Needless to say, we ended up just settling on movies here, and we ended up seeing Suicide Squad, because I never went to go see that since it came out, during the busy time of the year for me. Which I like that movie compared to a lot of people. There's a lot of mixed reviews, but I thought it was a fun movie. It's nothing to take too seriously. You have plenty of people going over to the 2 to 3 line. I'm heading over here because we have a bunch of lights. Lights and mediums. We need at least one tank here, especially in front of our Streb 103. Hello, Idris and Andre. Nice to see you. Ooh, Lord. That's not good. I wanted to get in a first big hit there, because he can semi-hold down. It's this artillery I know has shots over here, considering in the T92 I played this map earlier, and that has worse gun arc than a M40 and a M12. Doesn't look like our SPG is helping too much here, considering that Conqueror. We have 3 of them, and he has not getting shot by an SP. There we go. I never doubt it, you guys. Never. Alright. I'm just trying to work my way out that way. Sorry, FE. At least we both got a hit in there. Okay. Thanks for the subscription, Red. There is an M103 potentially over here, and the Tortoise hasn't been spotted, but I'll tempt fate. Okay, Indian Panzer's running, so that should mean that there's not much in this direction for him to run out like that. It's not a guarantee, but I'm just gonna do my due diligence and double check here. Ooh, Lord, there's a Tortoise. Yeah, I need to push into him. If I pull back and stop, he has better shots on my hull. Granted, he's pushing right into me. Awesome. And yep, nobody's gonna help me with him. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty. Oh Lord, I just got ammo racked. Yep, I'm dead. It was either fix my... I would have gotten one more shot off, but that was a good job by the Tortoise for pushing into me. It sucks that the rest of my team, though, You know, they were focusing on the other tanks. Oh well. I'm a little bit mad at myself for is basically my thought process that if I had stopped, he would have been able to shoot me about 2 times before I got back into cover. But pushing in, you know, once I got to here, he wouldn't have been able to shoot anything but my turret. But instead, he decided to push up since, you know, no one was following me. And, yeah, unfortunately for me, yep, they were, you know, shooting that half AFK TVP. Awesome. Alright, why don't I hop into the 113 here? But nice of you guys to join, join the stream here. I have, you know, a couple matches left here. I'm going to try again in the WZ-111. Usually that's a really, really good tank for me, but not so much today. If only you guys could see my dog here. For whatever reason, he likes to lay on the ground instead of his dog bed now, but he's like half smushed into the curtain here. It doesn't even touch the ground, but he's like trying to lay on the curtain that's, it ends about 3 inches off the floor, but it's just so weird. And he's like staring at me like, I know you're almost done. It's time for me to go for my walk. It's a very good attitude before the match even starts. Oh, that platoon, if they go in one spot, it will be tough to fight against them. Knowing my luck so far, yep, there's the E100. Unfortunately, this tank's just a pinch low. Feel bad, dude, but I would like to win. As far as throwing heat through the front of his turret for his first shot. Alright, T57s look like they are going to be on the other side, but it's never a guarantee. Yep, there they are. Awesome. Oh, that's my fault for over-angling, but at the same time, gotta love it. Anybody gonna come over here? Unfortunately, the T57's already past where these guys can shoot them. So once he loads up, I'm gonna be in some trouble unless I get a little bit of assistance, mainly from this Girl 15. Yes and no. It's good in theory, but it has a very weak ammo rack and a very weak lower plate. But statistically, like, it looks a lot better. It's just module wise, like, I get ammo racked in this thing almost every single game. It just, I don't know why our already popped out there, but our other, like, we got quite a few tanks here, and of course I missed. We're dead. We have so many tanks over here kind of tied up, and yet the other side is not really taking advantage of it. But as you see there, the armor's good, but a lot of things can just kind of spam right through it, unfortunately. Really, I was using heat just in case I had to shoot something with armor, but that sucks that didn't go through. So I was looking just to get a tank out to kind of even it out for my team, but go figure. We have all these tanks basically situated over here, and most of their tanks are here, and they don't really react to it until it's too late. But unfortunately, I don't have a Grill 15, nor do I have the Grill SPG. But yeah, if I had one, I would play it for you. But I do not own that tank. This is a pretty crappy match. Try number 3. But the 113, I can't wait. Like, I have a really crappy crew in it. They don't even have one crew skill yet. But safe stowage, I'm waiting to get that because essentially a 90mm gun I've had not detonate, but damage my ammo rack first shot through the lower plate. It's happened, I would say at least twice. I know once through the front, but also once through the side, from a medium tank. It's frustrating playing that tank a lot. And nice, the KV4. It's one of those tanks where I ground past that line before the KV4 even came out, but I want to pre-purchase it at some point. They need to give like a, not say senior discount, but hey, you got this tank years ago. Here, let's give it to you 50% off. Another little hilly map with not a lot of cover. Not the best for this because it doesn't have the best gun depression, as you can see there. I'm going to try my luck over on this side, only because I do not have the armor to push here, and the beach is pretty useless. But pushing here, they have 2 TDs, most likely they're going to kind of watch that area. T30 might head out over here, though. Oh, today has not been my day so far, though. Partly, I've made a lot of mistakes, but also, ran into the wrong people at the wrong time, like that tortoise this last match and this. Okie dokie. Alright, I'm gonna try to pull back here to see if I can get the Cent 7 to overextend a little bit. No, he's just waiting for our IS-2 to, roll right past him. Just unfortunately now we don't have, very good spots to be able to spot the enemy. So it's really their game to lose right now. I'd like to get damage off, but it's a lot harder than it looks on this map. I am missing my meat shields. I need to fire up my other PC over here and get World of Tanks installed on it so I can always platoon with a meat shield. I'm just kidding. You know I am too. Just need to keep an eye on getting too far over, but this T54 doesn't look like he's going to give me a shot. No. I aimed a little too high there, but again, not getting any help from the game today. It's just, guys, why are you running away now? I get that there's scary tanks here, but pulling back even further is going to get me killed, and as a result, you're just going to die very soon thereafter. But I have no choice but to back up now. I wanted to stay closer because it's harder for them to get shots off over the hill from that little area that they're in if you're closer to them. But pulling back here, I'm just giving them, freaking easy shots all day long. And I'm dead. Sorry, Dana, this tank's just not working. Hello, Anthony. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. But as you can see, it's getting a little bit frustrating playing that. It's not even that tank, it's just, it just has not worked out these 3 matches with it. But as far as talking about the hill thing, I tried against the tortoise. He pushed into me, which was my undoing. But the further you pull back from a hill, kind of visualizing it here, if you're closer to it, they have to go over the hill further to get a shot at you. So I was hoping just to stay there because we had tanks far back behind us that could hit them. But the guys that were kind of close to me just ran away and kind of left me out to dry. And I had no choice but to pull back because they were going to swarm me anyway. But sometimes pushing closer to someone on the other side of a hill is the smart thing to do. Just because they have to expose more of their tank to get over and to shoot you. Even if they have good gun depression, it's just... it sucks. But this is probably going to be my last match. Well, not only is this getting to the point where I'm getting a little bit frustrated, which usually, you know, I don't in World of Tanks, but, you know, I was going to stream till 11 a.m. today. So I'm right about at that point today. My next stream is going to be Friday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Sunday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then next week, we have Tuesday and Wednesday for the early streams. Unfortunately, I don't have an M103 WTE, but yeah, this is gonna be my last battle. Because even after this, like I'm working on replays. I'll have replays coming out every day now in between live streams. They'll release noon my time, but like even after this, I'm grabbing a quick plate to eat, and I'm going back to recording more gameplay footage for World of Tanks here. So unfortunately, I can't really stretch the stream here because I only have about, you know, I have about 2.5, 3 hours before Ryan gets home, and we're currently refinishing and painting and staining several pieces of our living room as far as furniture goes. This might end very badly for me once they start aiming my way, but artillery as well. Yep, I gotta run away. Sorry, T44. The cooking stream, honestly, I wish I could do cooking videos, but that would probably have to wait, you know, until my kitchen is remodeled. I don't think Ryan would let people see. Not that our kitchen's like dirty or anything. It's just, it's kind of original. But I honestly don't have the time between all the other things I have to do. Like I still have to, not to talk about all my house chores, but I still have to finish insulating in the crawl space about 2/3 of my house this week as well before it starts getting chilly. You know, the people before us stuck insulation up but never put the little rods to hold it in, nor stapled it or attached it anyway. So, you know, it all fell down. You gotta love people. But yeah, sorry I couldn't give a good match, Dana. I do have, I believe, a WZ11114 replay I'm going to be working on today. Like I have a few videos lined up already for this upcoming week, but I believe I have a pretty good match in one of those coming up too. This match though, just like the rest of my matches today, have not really worked out in matches where I need you know, a good team to kind of hide behind and support. Not working out here. It's just, some days you get this in World of Tanks, you just have to kind of grin and bear it. But it makes it a lot easier when you're not when you're not streaming. This 1390 is going to be a problem. Trying to slowly get back into a little bush here. But I should have, yep, shot on him. But that's only if he peeks up here. See, I'd like to do cooking videos. I'd actually have to get a camera for that. I can't exactly drag my webcam out to the kitchen. The only other thing I could do is record it on my phone, but that wouldn't exactly look very good. I know once I... Yeah, we're exactly dumb loser campers grill. Sorry, but I'm a little bit annoyed, so you're out on my blacklist. You know, what do you want me to do? Rush out and, you know, try to tank 5,000 damage in this thing? This is going to be extremely iffy if I hit his turret. Or I don't even hit him at all. But I think I'm going to die here very quickly. Yeah, but the turret on this thing is the Emil 1, Emil 2, and the Kronwagen. They're virtually impenetrable. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bearing with some of these matches here. Oh, but I tried my best. I'll see you guys around the next stream. Like I said, it's upcoming Friday. Tomorrow I do have a video coming out, you know, noon my time. I forget what exactly it is. I think it is a ace tanker in the Dicker Max, though, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to pull that up here. Yep, it does look like. As far as, you know, the video coming out tomorrow, Dicker Max, Ace Tanker. And then after that's going to be a VK2601 Ace Tanker. And then eventually, this is going to be January 9th. I have an Oni Ace Tanker 3,800 damage match. It was pretty fun, that match. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. Thank you for everyone who subscribed today, and also for the tips as well. Always appreciate it. You know, hopefully you guys you know, have a good day. Like Foreplay says, if you like the stream, feel free to, you know, give it a thumbs up. It's always appreciated as well. And I'll see you guys next time, hopefully. Otherwise, hopefully RNG and Matchmaker's a little bit more kind to you today than it was for me. Have a good one.